Hey gals, welcome back to Clee Gals Book Club podcast. My name is Sarah, your host.
I'm Emily, your co-host.
And we are so glad you guys are here. Today we are going to be talking about the wonderful Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros.
The one and only.
Yes.
The best book.
Best book ever, best series ever. We just had earlier this week our largest in-person book club ever. We were at Bartleby and we had just the dreamiest 2 nights celebrating and talking about Onyx Storm. It was insane.
It was like we were there.
Emily and I dressed up in our dragon costumes. Everybody was in their rider black. It was so fun.
It was awesome. It was such like a fantasy land there.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was
themed drinks and everything. So we wanted to welcome you guys. We are going to attempt to dissect this amazing book and world.
Yeah, we want to put it out there.
Yes.
We're just two girlies who read the book. We're not experts. I think I've only read it once. Have you read it just once?
I only read Onyx Storm once.
Yeah, I am not in my expert phase yet, but
No.
We're here to talk about it.
Yeah, this is not a deep dive. This is our initial impressions.
We looked up some theories that people have. So we might go over some of those.
Yeah.
Most of it's things I never thought of before.
Yeah,
so
totally.
We're just going to try and cover it.
Yeah, so I finished the book on February 1st. Today's March 9th. So it's been a while. And I did chat about some things with girls at the meetings, and I have listened to a couple other podcast episodes and stuff. Yeah. I might not remember people's names.
You got it. You'll remember their names.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Emily finished it last week, so she should be a little bit more.
I finished it. Our first meeting was Tuesday, and I finished it Monday.
Cool.
A few days ago.
Cool.
So we'll see where we are.
Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, where do we want to start, Em?
Have you been up to anything since we last talked?
Oh, no. I think we can just get into the book.
Yeah, I think
if you want to.
We're both kind of sleepy.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
I'll put that out there. We're up really late with Bartleby meetings.
Yeah,
which were wonderful. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah,
but we're definitely recovering.
For sure.
Why don't we start with our ratings?
Okay.
How did you rate the book?
5.
Duh.
No, I truly gave it 5. And I talked about this a little bit last episode for God of the Woods, but I read, in preparation for Onyx Storm, I read Fourth Wing again. I think this is my 3rd time reading Fourth Wing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Loved it. Didn't quite get to Iron Flame. Jumped straight into Onyx Storm.
You already read Iron Flame.
Yeah. I just didn't do a reread. And then went Fourth Wing straight into Onyx Storm. Then I went back to Iron Flame after reading.
You listened to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Audiobook.
After finishing Onyx Storm, and that was incredible. I feel like it really made me understand and like and appreciate Iron Flame more. Just like getting to see that part of the world, getting introduced to all of the Griffin Riders, and everything like that. So that was kind of my experience.
Yeah.
So I give them all 5 stars.
Yeah. I gave Onyx Storm 5 stars. Gave all the other ones 5 stars. I was late reading Onyx Storm because I really wanted to reread both Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. It took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to reread both of them. I'm glad I did. I have such a hard time remembering things from books.
Yeah,
like when it's been a few months or a year even, and I think I would have been completely lost. Probably wouldn't have been, but I felt like I was going to be.
Yeah.
So it just took me a while. I loved Iron Flame even more because that was probably my 3rd time rereading Fourth Wing. It was probably the 2nd time I've read Iron Flame, and I loved it the 2nd time around.
Yeah, me too.
Even more. Everything made more sense.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just finished Onyx Storm like a week ago almost, and I loved it. And
I feel like I saw some reviews or feedback of girls initially when we were jumping into Onyx Storm. They felt like it was like you really just got like thrown back into the world. There wasn't a whole lot of like recap. It was really just like, okay, we picked off where we left off and we kept going. That didn't bother me at all. I was just so happy to be there. Like I was like, I'm back. We're back, baby. We're back. Like we're back.
Yeah, I agree. It was really nice reading Iron Flame right before because it did go right into it.
Yeah.
It felt like I was on like an episode of a TV show where it stopped, and then the next episode literally was immediate continuation, and I really liked it.
Yeah, same timeline and everything. It's not like a ton of like.
I thought when we were gonna dive into it, it was gonna be like a few months later.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just assumed that, and I'm glad it wasn't.
Yeah.
Glad we didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Okay, why don't we go into some of our discussion questions? What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, this is a fun one. Just to start us off with a little cutie one. Which side character has been your favorite? Really put you on the spot.
I feel like the popular answer is Riddick.
Yeah.
I feel like my gut answer is Rhiannon.
Yeah.
I just am a huge Rhiannon fan, and I feel like we got to see a different side of her this book, like really in like a leadership role. She was a lot more serious in this book, but I feel like whenever her and Violet are having a conversation, or when it was like finally her chapter, like I'm just like glued to the page. I really love their friendship. Rhiannon is just a badass too. So I feel like she's mine. What about you?
I mean, obviously Riddick. Love him. He had such a like big role in this book, I feel like. But I really liked Imogen.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought she was really unique. I like how she's been there through everything.
Yeah.
And she's really like evolved as a character.
I agree.
Like beginning, her and Violet hated each other, and then they became just tolerable of each other. And now it's like they're with each other for everything.
Yeah, and Imogen's been helping her with so much.
Yeah.
And now it really feels like now they're like really equal playing field.
Yeah. Like Violet turns to her a lot, which I really like. And the chapters that broke my heart was the ones from Imogen's perspective at the end. Those really got me. Really sad.
Yeah.
When her friend died. But yeah, that's I think for me.
Cool.
I don't think going into this I would have thought that going into this book, but it was really cool. Nice. I thought she was a good one. Speaking of the marked ones, do you think all marked ones have second signets? How do you say it?
Signet.
Signets? Signets. I'm like sounding it
Signet.
out. If so, do you have a theory on how that is possible?
I think they ultimately all will have second signets. I think this was either answered a little bit or if it's just like lore, but I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that the reason, well, maybe it's more complicated than that. But I know that the dragons are like waiting to pair with the marked ones because they are more, well, one, they're motivated. They know they're going to be on the right side of history. Two, it was like because they could give them second signets. Like they're going to be more powerful riders. And I don't know if that's through like the marking or if it's like somehow through their parents' legacy that they're able to like pull that power out. But I feel like I had seen that. I think Rebecca confirmed that they all will have second signets.
Yeah. I mean, it would be weird for just some and not all of them.
I think it is all. And I think that is why the dragons are waiting to, I keep wanting to say mate.
Bond.
We are waiting for the dragons to give their rose to the riders. Yeah, what do you think on that?
I agree. I think they all will. I'm sure that Rebecca has like, it's called an Easter egg, right? Sneak something. I'm sure she's already Easter egged some things that I've totally missed.
Yeah.
On like different powers that people have.
Yeah.
But I think so. I think it'd be weird if it was just some and not all of the marked ones.
I do think this series is so different than anything I've ever read before because of the amount of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
It's hard not to analyze every single word because Rebecca will truly mention something in present tense that should be past tense, or she will give somebody a power that they don't even have And sure enough, they do.
Yeah.
But she'll just like,
even though we're like, wait, was that an accident?
she'll
No.
just sprinkle all these things in. So
Yeah.
it does make, like, I've never had a series that I'm like, I need to read it again and again and again.
To catch
You
everything.
can catch different things.
Yeah. Or there's
every
so
time.
much with Xaden reading Violet's mind or like intentions in Fourth Wing.
Yes.
Literally in Fourth Wing.
And he literally like tells her, like,
yeah,
I know what
you're thinking.
I already know you.
Yeah.
I know what you're all about.
I can read you. Like, oh my gosh, all of those things.
Like all the
it's insane.
She's really a genius.
Yeah.
She has so much paired out.
Love her.
Yeah.
I mean, not still. We'll always love her. Obsessed with her. I do have a side note.
Sure.
Because this next question from our discussion is about Bodhi. Like, if he has a second signet, and if so, what do you think it is? I have no idea. That's besides the point. I don't know why I have such a hard time. I feel like it's getting easier.
Yeah.
To differentiate them.
Yeah.
I kept getting so confused on Bodhi and Garrick.
Yeah.
This book, I feel like they did separate. We didn't get much of Bodhi, I felt like, and we got a lot of Garrick.
Yeah.
But in the past 2 books, I was constantly getting them confused.
Yeah.
Because I know Bodhi's Xaden's cousin, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like in line for Tyrandor.
Mm-hmm.
If something happened to Xaden. But then it seems like Garrick is the one who's like always there.
Yeah. I feel like I didn't struggle with that as much. Because I feel like, especially this book, it was so much about like, because Xaden was actually like ruling the province.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk about Bodhi being the spare.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this book that didn't really cross my mind as much. But yeah, but between this book and also even like the Akatar Bat Boys, like all of it takes a while for them to actually be different people instead of just like 3 clones of the same person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's very true. And I think that's probably what this book did, is it differentiated like Garrick and Bodhi more.
Because it made like Bodhi became a lot more consequential. Like,
yeah,
he was the heir.
Yeah.
So.
And then Garrick was like the substitute teacher, and he had a second signet confirmed and everything. Yeah. Okay. I just wondered. I was like, well, this is a question we have to talk about. There were a few references to Violet having power of the sky. Do you think it means that she might control more than lightning?
Yes, we actually have delved into this theory between the 2 of us quite a bit.
Yeah.
I am now I fully believe this is true. Like, it's no longer a theory, I think.
This was one of those things, I think Rebecca in the writing mentioned it enough times where it's like, where there was the one instance when Violet felt like she was going to pull power from the sky. Remember, to make a rune?
Yeah.
She was like wanting to pull
I don't even really remember that, but I just feel like when they were isle hopping, and like Xaden, especially when he was like his giddy boy self, because there was no power left in the ground and he felt like free. Violet still had power, and she could still talk to Taryn, and she could still talk to her and Darna, and no one else could.
Yeah.
So I think Rebecca has confirmed it slightly in a lot of her post-release interviews. But did the Irids confirm that they're sky power?
I don't think so. I think that's all been theories.
Okay.
So far.
And then the Venom being like, well, you control
the sky.
You can wield the power of the sky.
I think they're telling her that you have a different power than everyone
You
else.
have a different power source that other people cannot unleash because you're paired with Andarna.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're
theorizing. We're theorizing, but I am now holding it as truth.
Yeah.
That is what I think is happening.
Yeah.
I think that what makes her so powerful
and unique and different than everyone else.
And all that untapped power is why she's so important. And that's probably why the Venom want her so badly, because she has access to that power. And if they could drain the sky and the ground.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, then it's just like
it's over.
The world just stops.
It's done.
Yeah. What do you think about, just to talk about when they came into contact with the Irids and how they wanted like peace and everything, and they were just straight up like, oh yeah, just let everyone die. Like,
Yeah.
we can just start over. We'll be the only.
It almost was like they were like removed from everything else. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know how to describe it. It was almost like they thought they were better.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
feel
they
like
did. They thought they were better than like the other dragons. They thought they were better than humankind.
yeah, and they like preach all this. They preached freedom, but then they didn't have any leg in the fight.
It reminded me of the one isle that they went to that was all about
Peace and prosperity,
peace and knowledge and
yeah,
everything. It like it was similar thoughts of like, well, we have all this knowledge that we're keeping and holding, but we're not going to help you with it.
right,
And like whatever happens to you happens. Sorry.
right.
Like, yeah, or almost that they were acting like they were gods themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The Irids
Mm-hmm.
being so removed and just like,
Yeah, because their power's the sky.
I never thought about that. They kind of do act like they're
Gods.
like a Greek god or something.
Yeah. This is kind of bouncing around, but can we talk a little bit about almost each isle?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know any of their names.
I don't know their names, but we could just describe them. So the first one they go to with the library where they go to get Papa Sorrengail's
Journal.
secret journal or whatnot, and they go into that thing.
It's like a bookstore almost.
The bookstore kind of thing. Me too. That was so incredible to me.
Yeah.
It was so hilarious to me, the part when the grandma or whatever
grandma, yeah,
was like, oh my gosh, like your boyfriend Dane is so great.
She was like describing him. Oh, your dad said you guys were gonna be in love. Like,
yeah,
blah blah blah. You must be Dane.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I did like that. I remember I told you when I was where I was at in the book because you were already done before me, and I was like, oh, they're just about to get, or they just got to their first aisle, and you're like, you're gonna think the next part's hilarious, and I was like, these books don't normally have like huge hilarious
they're usually not. There's not like that many elements of humor.
And that was funny. Then I was like, oh, this is what Sarah was talking about.
It was so funny. Section. And then the other part in that same aisle was when Xaden made Dane come with him, or just made Dane run the errand for him to go get Violet the like lingerie.
Oh, I didn't.
They literally went together. It was literally Dane and oh my god, it was hilarious.
Yeah. I totally missed that part.
Oh my god, it was so funny. He literally like he either made like Dane pick it out or like they just went together to like go run this errand or whatever. But it literally was like silk lingerie.
Yeah.
For Violet. I thought that was hilarious. It was in the same aisle. Like it was like right after the grandma called Dane.
Deverelli. I remember when it was funny on the aisle when they were all on their horses and like Xaden was asking Dane and Violet about their childhood together, and everyone's like, "Why are you asking questions, bro? Like you normally, you don't talk to us, you don't like us."
Yeah, well, and that's when Xaden was first like so nice, and Violet was like, "Yeah, this is like who I always know, but it's weird that he's like acting like this to everybody."
Yeah,
I did really enjoy that.
That was really sweet.
And then the second aisle is when they met Xaden's mom. Which I don't know.
Did they have an aisle? I feel like they had an aisle in between.
Maybe.
Another aisle. I think it was
an additional aisle.
I think because I think that was the third one. But yeah, that
was really cool. I do have a point about that aisle, despite like separate from like Xaden's mom whole thing. The poison with the berries, and like the antidote stuff. That was a really, really. I didn't really think about it in the moment. But that was a really cute tribute to like a ton of who Violet was in Fourth Wing, with like the poisoning people during sparring, and then she knew like all these antidotes to everything.
Knows.
And I just feel like that wasn't a huge part of Iron Flame, and I really like that was like sprinkled back in because that's like a lot of like her knowledge. Base.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And she shares that with her dad, which is really cool.
That's how she learned a lot of it was from him. I do agree with that.
But that it was like a nice little tribute to kind of her fundamental, like who she is.
Do you think we have seen the last of Xaden's mom?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
It'd be kind of weird if she never came back. I feel like they did just kind of leave and like.
Yeah.
That was it. I could see her coming back, but I don't think she'll have any significant like role.
No, I wonder if somehow I could see there eventually being some sort of like reconcile and like apology, and maybe they do like end up sharing some of their like troops with
Mm-hmm.
Zayden or something, like wanting to save him. Um that's crazy that whole time though, that like she has no idea that like Zayden's a Venom.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like they went there and told her that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that could become like, once that she knows that, maybe she
Mm-hmm.
could flip and like really want to help continue to search for the cure.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
I
she
don't
is
know.
part of the cure. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I
She
don't
seemed
know.
pretty annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing was
Kidding.
really heartbreaking.
Um, yeah, I kind of hated that whole part.
I liked it.
I mean, I liked it. I just hated his mom. She
Right.
was horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was so sad. Um, what was your favorite aisle? Or which aisle would you like to know more about?
Um, okay, so then one of the other aisles was when they all got the gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen
Was
since,
that Dune? Dune?
maybe it was Dune. Was that with like the silver haired girl?
Mm-hmm.
Because how many aisles were there? 4?
3 or 4.
There must have been 4.
This is where we tell you we are not experts.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so the one when they got all the gifts,
When all the people were sitting in the stands.
and we're like, what the heck's gonna happen?
Wait, no, that was different because Dune was when they had to fight the. There were 4.
There was 4.
Because Dune
June
was
was
when
when
they
they
had
fought
to
the
fight.
cat, the big, like the tiger, liger.
Not the tiger.
That was like a tiger liger kind of thing, and Darna ended up
No,
fighting
that
them.
was when they went to
Takaris. That was an actual aisle. That was just to talk to Takaris. Okay.
not Takaris, but
The king. His name, I think the king's name is Takaris, right?
No, Takaris is the guy who is Kat's uncle.
Yeah.
He's not a king. He takes them to see
Oh, to see
with
the
Halden.
king.
That was the one with they went with Halden.
And he was being really freaking annoying.
And Halden's lady guard got beheaded. That was when she got beheaded. That was way before.
All I remember is Darna wanting to eat the cats.
Because she had her grab them in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
No, the one where they had to fight and it ended up being the queen that Violet fought of the Isle.
Okay.
I remember
I don't really
they
remember
chose Xaden, Dane, and Violet to fight. That was the Dune one.
Okay.
Because the priestess cut her, and that was the one where the priestess was like, your dad didn't finish. Or she was the one who got Violet very like confused.
And that was the aisle where the silver-haired people were.
Yes.
It's all related to Den.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I don't remember that one as much, I'll be honest.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
That
one was just very like.
But
fight.
the other one, that was Luck. The Luck one, when they all picked their gifts with Roulette, and there was like that huge thing.
Yeah.
So apparently, I've seen apparently, I have seen theories that obviously nothing is by chance in Rebecca's world, but I have seen that all of those gifts that they got is like a huge Easter egg for what their future holds. So we could try to find that list somewhere.
It's on our trivia.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could try to just dive into that.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
There's the island of Zelna.
Zelna.
Ends in N-A. I don't know. Mira got a bottle of wine.
Okay. She's going to, let's make predictions.
She's going to get drunk.
Mira's going to get drunk. Oh, I heard a theory that Mira was potentially having a secret underground romance.
Yeah.
With someone.
With Drake.
And they were saying that was what the wine was. They drank the wine and then there was some
hook
up.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Marin? Oh, she's a Griffin rider, right? 2 orange tunics.
Okay. So the theory I heard about this was that one of the aisles that they visited had an army that they did not, I don't know which isle, sorry, but one of the isles they visited has an army that they did not share their troops with them. But
Oh.
they were saying that if Marin shows them respect by wearing their garb and wears their
Oh
costume,
my gosh.
that they will be able to convince that isle to join their fight.
This is so over my head. Okay. I can see it.
It's
I
kind of
believe you.
silly, but
No, I'm reading this list right now, and it's actually a lot of these are making sense.
okay.
Tane got a slap to the face,
Yes.
which is just kind of like everything that's happened to him
But it's also ironic because he has to use both hands
to touch.
to use his power,
Yeah.
and he's always touching other people's faces. So it's kind of ironic that he got
Mm-hmm.
slapped in the face.
Garrick, this one I don't know. Rusted steel bucket.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a stretch.
We gotta learn more about Garrick.
Yeah, is he
rusty?
Is he trash?
I don't think he's
Is
trash.
it a pea bucket?
Ew.
I don't know.
No. Let's move on from Garrick. We
Okay.
don't know, buddy. Eric has a fractured hand mirror, which I think, because you know how the theory is that Eric can see the future.
Oh, I think that was confirmed.
So
yeah,
because he kept figuring things out for Violet, whatever.
yes.
Maybe something happens and because like a fractured hand mirror, you're looking at yourself, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something with that.
Maybe he can like really alter like what future he's seeing or something.
Mm-hmm. Or his own future is broken.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I don't know either. See, this is fun.
Xaden got an empty glass box. Maybe that's going to become him now. He's empty inside.
He can put his soul in there.
Poor Xaden.
I know.
Violet, this is like where I was like, oh my gosh, a broken compass.
So I heard a huge theory about the compass.
Oh, I was just thinking plainly of like Xaden's her compass and he's broken.
No, so I heard a theory about the compass.
Yeah.
Similar to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh gosh.
Where the compass, it's broken, but it'll lead you to your heart's greatest desire. So like it's a broken compass, but like probably depending who's holding it.
Maybe it's
like that could be a really great
guide
tool.
Her to Xaden.
It's gonna guide exactly her heart's greatest desire, or to the cure, or to Xaden, or to something similar to that, or like maybe the compass will get passed around.
Because I think they did make it a point too. This is like a side note, not about the compass, but they did make it a point to say that they all kept their items.
Okay.
I kind of remember that in the book. Sure. How they were like, what am I going to do with this?
Right.
But, like, I have it. I'm going
to keep it. And then who was the one? Okay, keep going.
Riddick got a kiss.
Okay.
Which could be maybe he's going to die. Kiss of death.
Kiss of death.
Or he sleeps with everyone already.
Yeah. I don't know what that could represent. Yeah.
Kat got a gold ruby necklace.
Okay, so she's going to become...
I mean, she already is in the air, right?
Yeah, she already is royalty, kind of. I wonder what ruby could mean. Something close to her heart. I don't know.
Drake got a kitten.
Broccoli. So this was I have to just mention, obviously broccoli is like the biggest phenomenon of the entire book. Everyone's obsessed with broccoli. Until I saw memes, I was like,
Sarah
who's broccoli?
Missed broccoli.
I thought maybe people were referring to Bodhi as broccoli. Like, you know how like we refer to Tamlin as tampon? I was like, are we talking about Bodhi when people say broccoli? I fully was like, what is...
I remember I was still reading the book and you're like, what is up with this broccoli? I was like, Sarah, it's the cat.
Yeah.
You're like, what cat?
I literally, guys, right over my head. I did enjoy the memes though, and now I get it. And I also equally enjoyed the Halden being carried in a basket memes. I did appreciate that. And I did remember that, but that was hysterical.
The only other gift we have left is Trager, who got an arrow to the heart.
What was that character's name? Trager?
Trager. Trager. I don't know how you say it.
And was that a Griffin rider?
He was the one who was in, him and Kat were hanging out.
Oh.
So maybe that could be something too with like their relationship.
Because Kat got the ruby heart.
Ruby necklace. Gold ruby necklace.
Okay.
I mean, no, it more could be like Maybe he couldn't fully trust her, so he got narrowed to the heart.
Yeah. Or maybe she shouldn't have been trusting him.
There's a lot that could be.
I did think I have another point to make, just kind of in general while reading this book.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like, and I saw this as I saw this criticism online a lot, but I fully do not fall into the criticism. I really enjoyed it. I felt like specifically this book, now that Rebecca is signed with Amazon for this to be a series, hopefully similarly to like Game of Thrones level epic production and stuff, I could see how this book specifically was like written for TV or written for the visual. Like I felt
Mm-hmm.
like I saw it as a criticism online of people being like all the different aisles with like their different aesthetics. Like they were like, you can tell that she's like literally just writing this to be a TV show.
But there's a lot of comedy in the book,
A
in
lot
this
of
one.
comedy, like
Mm-hmm. It's
um
almost written like a script.
yes, and
Mm-hmm.
also so I know like at the beginning some people got really turned off by like she would mention characters' names that we had never met before with like no description of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see how, especially visually in like a TV show setting, like if you're listening, like say Emily and I are in high school and we are present at the same moment. And Rebecca's literally like, yeah, Emily, so and so, we're there. I don't know who Emily is yet, but
Mm-hmm.
she wanted them visually to be present on the screen so that when
Yeah.
they come forward in like 2-4 months and they become an important character,
Yeah.
you've already like seen them or could then go back and be like, oh my God, they were there. So I felt like the beginning of the book when she was like mentioning a bunch of characters that we didn't know, it was easy for me to just look past it because I was like, okay, I can understand how visually you might need these people to like be present in that scene,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know them yet and we don't really care about them yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with
Um,
that. I also think it's just something that makes the world feel more real, too.
totally,
You
because
know,
you're never
like,
going to have just 7 people.
and that's it.
This is an entire province and college, and
Because I kept
there
saying
are
that.
going to be people around that you don't know who they
I
are.
kept saying that with like the death roll and stuff when they'd read that. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's never only going to be their friends who die.
right.
Like,
They're
of
not going to know
course.
every single person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think. Yeah,
That
it
has
makes it
also
more
never,
real.
that also has never, yeah, that's never been a factor. That's never bothered me.
No, I agree. Because you can kind of tell if you just are like, I don't need to remember that name right now.
Yeah. And
I don't need to know that.
if she wants you to know it, she's either going to tell you later
Yeah,
or we just don't know it because Violet doesn't know it and we're in Violet's POV,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Exactly.
It's like the whole rune thing. Like there was a lot of discussion online
What
about like
is?
nobody understands how runes work or like the importance of them. And the whole point of it is that Violet doesn't either.
She's also learning it.
Violet's openly struggling with runes. So why would we fully understand the capacity of runes
Seeing everything from her point of view.
when Violet does not get
Yeah.
them? Yeah.
Speaking of point of views,
Yeah.
do you like how at the end it switched to different ones? I personally didn't really. I don't
really
know either. I didn't
either.
like Rihanna's point of view.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
See, I did. That was probably I would say the only one I liked.
I liked Imogen's, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it really helped me to feel for her and her friend who died. I don't know. I felt like Rhiannon's.
Rhiannon.
It really like took me away from the other things going on.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time we'd really seen someone else's point of view besides Xaden's.
Violet and Xaden. Yeah. I think I agree. I don't really love that it's always just at the end.
In like one chapter.
Mm-hmm. At the same time though, I do think it was kind of a nice reminder about the amount of stuff happening at once.
Yeah.
I think like for the timeline it makes sense. But I also think I don't even remember whose point of views we really got, but it's like not who I would have wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That was probably my least favorite part.
I'm trying to remember who else we got.
Do you want me to look really fast?
It's fine. I kind of feel like it was Rhiannon, Imogen, possibly Riddick, and then that was really it, I think. And then we got Xaden at the very end.
Yeah. I'll save this for later.
Oh my gosh, I have something to talk about.
Yeah.
This one I actually really was curious. So the question is, what other power do you think Dane might hold after Sloane told him you shouldn't have this much power? Did you notice that in the book? It really. So remember when Brennan was trying to heal Mira? She got her throat slit.
Yeah.
Remember? And he's like, I don't have enough power to heal her. And so Dane told Sloane, use my power to siphon it into Brennan to give him power to heal Mira. Okay? Remember how they did that?
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember when like Sloane was very much like, no, I can't take your power. And he's like, oh, I have enough. Just take what you need. And she told him, you shouldn't have this much power. What does that mean? That like really stuck out to me. And I was like, wait. Because she took all of General Lilith Sorngill's power. She was super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is it that Dane possesses that?
Yeah, but Dane's not a marked one. I don't think he's gonna have that.
But what if he's like something more? What if he's a venom? I don't know. Or the other thing I thought I heard in some theories was that Dane has gotten the power to read people's minds without touching them.
Maybe maybe he could work towards that. I could see that with like
But
maturing.
that really stuck out to me when Sloane said that.
Yeah, that didn't cross my mind at all.
I was like, what does this mean? You shouldn't have this much power? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
And she's touching Brennan too, so she should be able to feel his power, and he's supposed to be like the best healer.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about that at all. That wasn't on my.
It was something that I don't know why it really stuck out to me, but I was like, whoa. I feel like Dane's got to be hiding something, you know?
I don't know.
Not hiding something, but like he has something that's going to come out, I think. Something going on.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it does just go. It's Rhiannon, Violet, Imogen, Violet, Xaden.
Okay.
Is the end of the book.
Yeah, that's it.
I have a couple other. I have two small criticisms.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar in they're very similar in theme. Both two big events that happened in the book were one, Andarna deciding to go with the Urids and leave.
Yeah.
So I had counted, she was gone for 10 chapters.
Okay.
I feel like it was like, okay, oh my God, Andarna's gone. She's back.
Wait, did you hear the theory on this though?
What? That it was in a different time.
That she still controls time.
And so it's a longer time for her than it was for Violet. I did hear that.
Yeah. Or she somehow manipulated time so she was there for a while, but in reality it wasn't.
It didn't feel long.
Yeah.
That is a good theory. That is interesting. My second thing, and we've talked about this a little bit, but when Mira got the slash to the neck and she was like gonna die, and immediately I was like, she's not dying.
Yeah, no.
And I also just feel like that was such a fast, like I feel like she could have let us think Mira was dead at least until like the end of the book. And then like we come
left that
as like a cliffhanger, and then we come back for book 4 and she's like, Brennan and Sloane were able to heal Mira. She's still okay. She's still recovering.
Yeah. But then I wonder too if with everything with the cliffhanger we were actually left on too, if we would have kind of almost like forgotten about that, you know, just been like, oh, she's dead.
I don't know if we would have. I don't know if we would have actually forgotten about it, or
if it was just more like breath.
I feel like that would have been a really good place to pick up with book 4. I mean, we've left with that kind of before with like book 1, like Violet was hurt,
but then she found Brennan.
And then we're back.
Yeah.
I
think if anything, she could have gone to the other point of views and then come back to then oh, Mira's being healed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that was something too with the timing, because I think that was pretty early. That was at the beginning of the battle.
That was at the beginning of the battle. A lot happened after that.
And then that was why Taryn left
Mm-hmm.
Violet's side.
Right.
So I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would Taryn need to take Mira's dragon anywhere if Mira's dead?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I know. It's not that I want Mira to die.
It
I
sounds like
just
you
think
do.
I was ready. I was ready for something truly crazy to happen. And I'm not changing my rating at all, but I do see also the other criticism that was common at book club was like that this book, I do think a ton happened. I don't think that this was a filler book. I feel like a ton did happen, but the fact that we kind of left with a similar ending that we did with Iron Flame, and it's like, okay, we finish Iron Flame. Oh no, Zayden's a Venom. Okay, we finish Onyx Storm. Oh no, now Zayden's really a Venom. Like
yeah.
I do understand that frustration, but there are still 2 more books. So
yeah, there's a lot to happen.
yeah.
And imagine too if we were reading this book after they were all out.
I just saw something.
Because then you could immediately go into it.
What? 1, 2, 3 out of 5.
What does that mean?
Like it's the 3rd book.
Oh,
look at how it's 3.
I never realized
3
that.
golden dragons out of 5. That's really smart.
I never thought of that.
I wish that all of these had, yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, 3rd book.
I kind of wanted to go into some more of the theories.
Sure.
Does that work? I've been doing lots of research on our theories. First of all, I missed out on the orange dragons thing. Have you seen that?
No, tell me about it.
Where I don't know a bunch about it. I just saw it on some different Instagrams and stuff. Instagram theories. Apparently, orange dragons are bonded to like worse bad people.
Okay.
So Jack Barlow was bonded to an orange dragon. Major Varish, the horrible guy.
Yeah.
Horrible whatever, torturer.
Mm-hmm.
Orange dragon. Brennan is bonded
to an orange dragon.
And Imogen is also bonded to an orange dragon. Okay. Apparently.
Well, it could be like being a Slytherin. Like just because you're a Slytherin doesn't mean you're inherently fully evil.
I think they're saying like, what if something comes out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
That was a side note.
Do we want to touch on the Llewellyn stuff?
Yeah.
So this was also funny because since I read the book on release day, it was funny because I was really I think I want to give my accolades to the Bookstagram and Book Talk community. I feel like everyone was super good about not posting spoilers.
Oh my gosh, without announcing it.
Or like even in the first week, like people would be like, I finished, but like nobody was putting out content of like any major spoilers. I think that was incredible to be a part of.
Yes.
But the one thing that people kept saying in like the first 2 to 3 days after the book was released, which I thought was hilarious, was all the memes about like, who is Llewellyn? What is Llewellyn? He's a person, he's a place, he's a thing, he's all these things. And I just thought that was funny to like not be done with the book, but to see all those memes. So every single time his name came up, I giggled.
Yeah.
Because it was just a funny thing. But I kind of think, and I haven't seen Rebecca like really comment on this at all or anything, but I'm wondering, like, there is a place called Llewellyn. We have our guy named Llewellyn. I wonder if like he's like rich and it's named after him, or if it's just like
it could be his last name. He comes from Llewellyn.
Comes from the Llewellyns. Historically, they named it after their family name. Like I don't think it's that serious.
I don't think it is either. I think I was confused sometimes, but
it's just maybe it's like the Smiths. Maybe it's like a super common name in Navarre.
Yeah.
Llewellyn.
Llewellyn.
Who knows?
You're Llewellyn. I'm Llewellyn.
We're all Llewellyn.
So this theory is to go back on what I was talking about earlier with Dane's signet.
Okay.
Being more powerful. So it's what if Dane doesn't need to touch someone's face to read their memories anymore? So I saw this and I saw the actual pages too that is on and everything. After Xaden and Violet's first kiss, she sees Dane later, and she starts thinking about her kiss with Xaden, and Dane flinches. It was really weird in the book. It was very obvious. She
Okay.
goes, I looked up and I see Dane. And then I see, like, maybe she sees Xaden and she's like, then I remembered of our kiss and how many emotions I felt. And then it says in the next line, Dane flinches.
So this was in Fourth Wing?
This was in Fourth Wing.
Okay.
I was like, it was really weird. It was really weird. And then the other thing I saw about Dane is that would Dane be able to read someone's memories that have been erased? That's the thing with whole Imogen
That would be really
erasing.
cool.
Yeah.
Because then Dane could fill Violet in on what happened.
Yeah. Which I'm curious if he could. I don't know.
But then, so Imogen remembers, though.
But what if Imogen wasn't there?
She might not have been there.
We don't know if she was there. What if
Yeah,
Violet
you're
just
right.
said?
So that could be really important and cool.
Could be cool.
I like that.
Another thing I saw was that oh, this was a side note. I'd never thought of this before. I thought it was interesting. So we know now that
Sigale.
I always want to call her Sagel.
That's
Every
Sigale.
time I read her name, Sagel. Sigale, you know how she was bonded to one of Xaden's family members, right?
His grandpa, I think.
They originally were like, oh, it's his no, it's his grandpa. What if he's the sage?
Oh.
Not
okay.
the sage, but like, what if that's why he didn't make it out of the quadrant? Because they said that Sigale's rider never made it out of the quadrant. Okay, that could be why. That could be why Fen, Xaden's dad, hates riders and why he started fighting Venin. And then also why Xaden knew they were coming for him.
Okay. I never thought of that. I like that.
So that was something. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? And then we got to talk about the whole who's the new Venin brother.
Right, we do have to talk about
There's
that.
a lot of theories on that.
There's a lot of theories. I am sticking. Who do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it could be Bodhi, Garrick, or Brennan.
Yeah. I fully think it's Bodhi.
Yeah.
I will be surprised if it's not Bodhi. I think that this book again was so adamant about Bodhi being the spare and like always feeling like he's not enough and living in the shadow of Xaden. He's missing at the end, and then also Xaden leaving everything to Violet. I think logically in inheritance world, that means that Bodhi's not around to inherit Tyrannor, so therefore Violet has to have it.
True. Yeah.
So I just think like in the most logical terms, and kind of I feel like the themes of where we were led throughout the book, I do think it's Bodhi. But Rebecca's good at throwing us off, and I feel like now that we know that she's fully not writing the book until after, she could see everyone's theories and be like, haha, I'm changing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to swerve you over here. So who's to know for sure? But I do, as soon as I finished the book, I thought it was Bodhi. Hearing all the theories afterward, I still think it's Bodhi.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The one thing I see, I don't know. The one thing I see for Garrick is that, I didn't realize this. So you know how like Garrett can walk across large distances, right? He's like a
distance wielder.
Yes. So he tells Imogen at the end that he's not able to wield again because he's close to burnout, and he tells her, I better find some way to do that. Okay. Minor. But then Imogen mentions, this kind of sticks out, that when Garrick is helping her carry Quinn away, that the ground surrounding him is turning gray.
Oh.
I do kind of remember that, and I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that does sound sus, but it also just could be all they're in the middle of a battle.
But then wouldn't Garrick be like sizzled?
Maybe.
I don't know. And then Brennan.
There's still so much I feel like we are not being told about how the
Yeah.
Venon's power really truly works.
Yeah. And how did like Xaden had so much power at the end being a Venom, and like no one else has had that much power.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Onyx Storm at the end.
Right.
That's, like,
I feel like he's
crazy.
gonna become I feel like he's gonna become so high up.
Mhm.
I also saw the theory that it's gonna become I don't know the phrase, but I keep comparing it to like the Disney movie Zombies, where like they had all turned into zombies from like a chemical spill. I like this. I used to watch when I was babysitting, but
Mhm.
with Milo, whatever, and Chandler Kenny, but they're all like good zombies, and it's like I've been hearing theories that like there's going to be evil Venom and like good
Yeah, I
Venom.
could see that. They
There
can
has to
figure out a
be.
way to control it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Do you think that now that we know Xaden's like Venom, do you think his bond with Sigale is cut? I think it is.
I don't know.
Do you think Sigale will bond with another rider?
No, I don't think so.
I think she will. I think she will.
Oh, I saw this theory just today, I think.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, this was crazy to me.
What?
So you know how it's with Sigale and everything.
Okay.
You know how at the end of the book it says that Taryn is sleeping, like he's in a deep sleep because of everything.
Yeah, he got like so.
Someone said that they think, what if Sigale and Taryn broke their mate?
That's what I mean. Like, I think somehow if Xaden lost his bond with Sigale, and
Yeah.
Sigale like books it, or like also, like, what if? I don't want this to happen, but what if Sigale somehow? Sounds so silly, but if Sigale somehow like turned into a wyvern?
Oh no.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, I hope not. I was like, wait,
no.
what if Xaden turns her in? Because he.
No, they make those out of like nothing.
I know.
No. No, she's still a dragon.
Okay.
But what if she just goes off and like
That's
leaves
what I'm kind
everything?
of wondering.
That's what I think.
But so then I think she might be gone.
Because then
She
I
might.
do
What
think
if she's gone for like
Taryn-
all book 4, and then she bonds with someone else for book 5,
I don't
and
think
then we
she's gonna
win?
bond with someone else.
I think she will.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
Because I don't think they bond that close together necessarily.
I think so. But these are dire circumstances.
I don't know. I think she might wait for Xaden. That's what I think. But I do think Taryn and Sigel have to break their bond.
I wonder how that's gonna work.
Because they're dragons. They're powerful. They can do whatever they want.
Right.
That was something I did see where I was like,
yeah.
I know.
Wow, we're covering a lot here.
The other thing I wanted to touch on
Yeah.
before we're done is Brennan. There's been a lot coming out about Brennan. I didn't realize he had a rune on his hand.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Doesn't mean much to me right now.
Well, I saw on Instagram he has a rune on his hand.
Okay.
People's theory was that somehow connects him to Naolin, and that Naolin is a Venom.
I've also seen a lot of theories that Naolin is like
Berwin
the sage.
is Berwin.
Who's Berwin? Are you saying
Berwin
somebody different, or are you talking
Berwin
about
is
Naolin?
Naolin, they think could be Berwin, who is one of the sages. I think.
I see. So you're saying that Naolin is a code name for Berlin, who is like one of the head sages.
Berwin. It's his Venom name.
Okay.
That's what people are saying, is that Berwin and Naolin are the same person.
Okay. Or what do you think about Varish?
No, I don't think it's him.
I think it could be Naolin, yeah.
Because they say Theophany, right, said, brother, she looks towards Violet. Brennan knows that Berwin and Naolin are the same person. That's what people are saying.
Okay.
And that maybe somehow Brennan is somewhat controlled by Naolin / Berwin. With the rune in his hand.
If Brennan is evil, that's going to really hurt.
But what if
I
that's
don't
why,
want
like,
Brennan to be evil.
what if that's why, like, Mira is still mad at him? Maybe she can
Well,
sense
I
something.
also feel like I can't fully trust Mira. Do you feel like that?
The grandma thing
Yeah.
definitely was weird. And how Mira, like, knows stuff about Violet now that she hasn't told Violet, which is
Mhm.
just horrible.
Like her like the
The priestess thing and
yeah, and like
yeah,
how yeah.
I didn't like that for
Um,
sure. Yeah, that's what I got.
okay. There was one other thing I was considering talking about, but I have lost it for now. Um,
There's just so much.
there's so much. Doesn't this just make you want to start over? Read them all
Yeah.
again? Me
Makes me
too.
wanna read all of them again, but then it also just, like, I don't know. I just need to
Yeah.
read other fantasy now before she until she because I think
Yes,
I
because
wanna
now we have
wait
time.
to reread all of them until the next book comes out,
So we should
close
try
to.
to set a goal of whenever we know the next book is released, like we should give ourselves a good 3 months and read like one of them a month.
That would be smart. We
So we can
get
actually
it.
read all three of them again, be prepared.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really just truly cannot wait for it to be a series.
TV.
Rebecca
Yeah.
was in this weekend. She was posting. She was in Los Angeles with Amazon.
Yeah.
Um,
I really hope it's like Game of Thrones.
it has to be so
I mean, I
good.
haven't even watched I've watched a few episodes of
I
Game of
love Game of
Thrones, but I
Thrones.
hope it's actually
Like
good.
really, really high production.
Good
Yeah.
actors, not any B level.
Yeah.
Needs to be A plus. Or is this
Um,
gonna be so disappointing?
I don't know if I even really want to go into fan casts right now.
You can check out our Instagram.
You want to do that? I think
I think just
I
on our
think that's
Instagram.
good. Yeah.
There's lots of thoughts out there on who should be casted.
Right. There are I don't have access to my phone right now cuz it's a camera. But you guys should look online if you haven't seen it. There are a few kind of like B-list actors and stuff
Mhm.
that recently have been seen reading the Fourth Wing series, and then they all have dragons in their bios.
Yeah, I saw the one guy.
Yeah, there's a few of them. And they look pretty good.
They do look good.
And who's to say what character they are? They could be like it could be like Garrick
Yeah,
or it could be
Bodhi.
yeah. I will say I have just a few fan casts that I am making. The
Mhm.
second that they introduced Halden, like
The prince.
the prince, Violet's ex, the dumb, blonde, hot, whatever, immediately I thought Austin Butler.
I could see that for sure.
Um, I still think it, but you made a good point earlier that he should be Eric
I could see him being Eric. Yeah.
because Eric obviously is. I that's it. Felt bad to cast Austin Butler as Halden
Like kind of
because,
like a semi not bad guy, but annoying guy.
but he's be like an annoying character, and he's only so far he's only in book 3.
Yeah, it could be more Eric.
I think he could be Eric. You're right. He could be Eric.
But then I feel like the problem is too, all the actors and actresses I keep thinking of are just way too old. Like I'm like, oh, if they were like
Yeah.
from Hunger Games era, like a lot of people put on the fan cast different Hunger Games characters, like Josh
Yeah. Josh
Hutcherson, Liam
Hutcherson.
Hemsworth. I'm like, they're too old now.
But they're not. I mean, you can kind of age anyone down. I feel
I
like.
think they're supposed to be like 20.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. I really would love to see. I don't think it would ever happen, but I would love to see Zendaya as Rhiannon
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's like a
or Chandler Kinney as Rhiannon.
you know who else I saw as Rhiannon? Oh my gosh, I don't know her name. It's the girl, the actress who played the young Queen Charlotte from Bridgerton.
I love Bridgerton people. Put them in everything. Okay, who can be Jonathan Bailey? Like,
Riddick.
oh my god, he'd be
Actually,
such a good.
though,
Yeah, I need
because he's supposed to be kind of like
ditzy. Oh
fun.
my god,
I don't know
yeah.
if he'd be big enough. Like
You
Riddick's
think
supposed to be like.
yeah.
No, I think John Bailey's perfect
He's perfect.
as he is. He doesn't need to be
Um,
more large. But the other one that I saw was Bridgerton season 1. Jean Paul. I think his name is Jean Paul in real
okay.
life. The main character, the Duke,
Oh, the Duke.
as Zayden. I saw people cast him
I
as
could see
Zayden.
him be Zayden or Bodhi.
He'd be a good Bodhi, I feel like. I don't know if I see him as the main character
Um,
or Garrick.
yeah, any of them. I mean, they
Anyone
just have to be like tan and tall, tan, dark, and
big,
hot.
large, tattooed.
I still feel like from Fourth Wing, I thought that Violet should be Olivia Rodrigo. That will never happen. I get the Jenna Ortega thing. I just really Olivia Rodrigo is just so like she's so fragile.
I kept seeing everyone put the actress who plays Renesmee in Twilight.
Yeah, she's older now. She
She's
could,
like
yeah, she would be
she's
good.
very petite,
Yeah, she would be
very
good
like
at it.
pale.
Yeah,
If they dyed her hair,
yeah,
she could be really good.
yeah.
Or yeah, I think she could be really good at it.
Hmm.
Yeah, she has very like unique look and a
Mhm.
good like she's beautiful,
Yeah,
but she's like striking.
yeah,
I could see that.
yeah. I feel like those are my mains.
Cool.
It's a huge cast, though. We even filling out the fan cast list.
Oh my gosh, it was so
Like I put like 12 people on there, and then I was like, this doesn't even cover half of the cast.
yeah, which you're gonna do, I'm sure, on Instagram, the fan cast.
Yeah, we'll
Anyone's
do that.
interested.
Yeah, later this week or something.
It's gonna take a while, I can only
Yeah,
imagine. There's so many characters.
yeah, we'll take our time. We'll
Yeah,
make it right.
I'm good there.
So,
Do you have any final thoughts?
let me think. Um, yeah, overall for me, still 5 stars. I mean, the entire time I was just so happy to be back with those characters in that world. I mean,
Mhm.
I just think that it's like it's it's not quite there yet because it doesn't really have the nostalgia factor. But for me, especially rereading Fourth Wing again for the third time
Yeah.
before this book came out, it's really kind of starting to have like that Harry Potter
Yes.
iconicness to it.
Yes, I
Like I was just
agree.
like, truly, like we're back. Like
We're back, baby.
I'm so glad to be back at Biscayeth with all my friends.
Yeah.
Like I just really am so thankful for the series and to have something that um is so like uniting for everyone and to have so many like theories and stuff.
Yes.
I can imagine it would be difficult to be Rebecca and have people dissect your like every word.
Especially as you're still writing it.
Like I exactly.
That's
And I do
crazy.
not envy her for that, but it's like just such a huge feat and I think that she's handling it stunningly
Yeah.
and it is just so fun.
We love it.
I just love it and yeah, thank you guys for loving it too. And
Yeah.
I just also cannot get over how amazing the meetings were this week. I
Oh
feel
my
like
gosh.
I was in such a daze because it went so fast, but it was such a long few months of like
We've been planning this for a long time.
preparing and trying to make it like really, really special and memorable.
Unique and
And yeah,
yeah.
so I feel like it was everything that I hoped it would be
And more.
and more. Yeah, it was really good.
I feel like we were probably both in like a dream through this week.
Yeah, I was in a little bit of
Like a haze. We're still
yeah.
recovering.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit in a daze, but
Oh, it was awesome though. It was so
it
fun.
was really awesome.
It was just so it's such a like unique experience to be experiencing this book
Yeah.
coming out like this, and
Yeah.
who would have thought that 2025 we'd have hundreds of girls like obsessed with this one
Yeah.
book series. Like that's so crazy.
It is so crazy. And I think it was also really crazy because like we know that we all are reading this book. I mean, it's like the phenomenon of this decade, century.
Mm-hmm.
But just to like visually look at everyone and be like, "Oh my god, we all read the same book." Like
Yes,
it really is
100%
just kind of so silly and
cute and
really really cute. So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to just the rest of the year. And I'm looking forward to um I'm really looking forward to All the Colors of the Dark, but
You've
then
been wanting to read it for a while.
I've been wanting to read that for a long time, but I'm also looking forward to May and kind of taking a step in a more girly direction and doing
Yeah.
something a little bit less heavy.
Transitioning to the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
those are kind of my final thoughts. What
Yeah.
about you?
No, I had so much fun at Onyx Storm meeting, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I loved everyone's enthusiasm for the
Yeah.
same book, and everyone really showed up, and it was
Yeah.
just so sweet.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was really
So,
memorable. I'll think about it forever.
yeah, it was good. Um,
Thanks so much for listening, you guys.
yes, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Kleegal's Book Club. Just a reminder for anyone, if anyone's new here, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Kleegal's Book Club. We are an in-person book club in Cleveland, Ohio area.
Also trying to bring it to you on your couch.
Yep. We do meet for a book once a month, and then we do a bunch of other silent reading nights and other bookish activities all throughout the month. We kind of average like 1 to 2 events a week. And all the information for that is on the Instagram.
Yeah, make it nice and easy.
Yep. So so thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
And we will see you next month when we talk about All the Colors of the Dark
by Chris Whitaker.
Yes. And we can't wait.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Good.
Oh, I think that was great.
I think it was really good. Wow, we had a lot to say.
We had a lot. Wowee.